everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is one of my favourite things to do on the show, our classic event rewind series. This is basically where we go back and look at these gigantic mega events of yore, or in this case, a tryout event, but somewhat that was just as totemic in its own way, and go back through the guests, review all the battles. I've had John on, Jonathan Rimmer, we did King of the Dots, World Dom 2 both days. Kieran, we did both days of 4th birthday. With Sean, we did To The Test 10 and did To The Test 7 with Pamphlet. So there have been some great episodes, definitely go back. Follow us at BattleRapResume on Twitter for all the news about the show. BattleRapResume@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with me, you want to correspond. Patreon is there. Everything goes on the Patreon first. If you want to help support, there's basically 2 tiers. First tier gets you access to everything unlisted on the channel, apart from Battle Rap Resume episodes. The second tier gets you access to everything, including Battle Rap Resume episodes. And also with that tier, you get access to a podcast feed as well. So you don't have to just listen to it on your laptop. You can download it straight to your phone, listen to it as normal. iTunes is there. Leave us a review on iTunes. But yeah, today we are looking at the first quarter tryouts. Don't Flop was in an incredible period at this point. It's quite funny, actually, because one of the battles that we're going to get to, Toucan versus Ro.P.Row, Ro.P mentions just before, I think this battle went down on the 14th, let's just have a look, yeah, Saturday the 14th of January 2012, so more than 6 years ago at the time of us recording this, and Ro.P mentions how excited people were on Christmas Day, because I think that's when they released Uno versus Luna. I mean, Luna was still battling at this point. Grist had just gone viral at this point. Don't Flop was really putting their flag in the ground, so to speak, and 2012 kind of led to the chrysalis emergence of the dominance of Don't Flop. I mean, 4th birthday's at the end of this year. This is the first event at the start of the year, and I wanted to look at it because it's celebrated as the birth of the killer crop. When you look at this card, it's quite incredible how many mainstays had their debut on this card. So, you know, not naming even all of them, we have C Major, Impact, Tongue Twister, Enigma, Bamalam, Ogmios, Aukes, Big J, you know, not mentioning Grim Sickers as well, came through. So, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to go back through, we're going to talk about all the battles in as much depth as we deem worthy, and it's not just going to be myself. It is a genuine great friend of the show. Always love podcasting with this guy. He's the only guy I've actually battled on the channel. Joker, how's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm sweet, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. And these battles, I've had such a ball watching them, both through you know, the nostalgic lens, but also there's some pretty hilarious bouts in here.
Oh yeah, there's some really entertaining stuff. Even the most questionable of material is still entertaining in its own way.
And,
yeah, I've had a great time watching them myself.
And you yourself, briefly, I mean, we discussed this in episodes gone by, but you and Battle Rap, how did that begin?
That was Grist and Blizzard. Someone showed me that and went down the rabbit hole with it from there, pretty much.
Yeah,
sort of gone in and out, but I mean, it's mainly Don't Flop stuff, like the more relatable stuff I'm into, like the UK stuff, King of the Ronalds, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't have as much time nowadays as I used to in my battle rap heyday to sit and watch a load. But
it's hard. Yeah, it is hard to. It's hard to watch any battles, like, you know, anything that's like 40 minutes. I can't really. And it's been so nice that all these battles are pretty much 10 minutes a piece. You know, 10, 12 minutes, and you know, looking at the flyer, Sam Graphics is on there, DJ Cosmo on the door. Of course, this is at Fiddler's as well, the legendary venue that has, you know, more classics per square foot have gone down in this room than any other. But I mean, let's just get straight into it. So the first battle that kicks us off, the first battle of 2012, and this is also the first battle of 2013, and I believe it was going to be the first battle of 2014, but they didn't actually do the rematch. This is Enigma versus Mr. Tongue Twister.
This Chris Taylor fag is a loser. told me you only came here to jack off to Kruger. and you can act like you're tough as if you're packing a Luger or click-clacking a shooter, but I could beat you 20 years ago or 20 years from now. So when I smash open your face like I'm taking you back to the future. And fuck Mr. Tongue Twister. If this shit was back in the past, that big-ass pointy nose of yours really would have bugged Hitler.
What's all the fuss about? Why stress? I know I'm not muscle bound, but if I flex and get my muscles out, I'll make his biceps look like Brussels sprouts.
What did you make of this match?
This is one of the standout matchups just from a performance point of view.
Definitely.
Like, you know, they're both setting out the stall straight from the off with the personality shining through, both of them.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like, there's not much difference between them then and then now, and I mean that as a giant compliment. Like, it's crazy how polished both of these guys are here.
Oh yeah, they've kept the consistency throughout their careers, definitely. Enigma especially, like, has just come straight in and absolutely smashing it. Yeah,
I said this before on the episode. Like, it was quite groundbreaking what he was doing. Like, you know, we'd had all mum, sex, masochistic sort of things, but really to take it into that horrorcore element with the comedy as he did. You know, he talks about stabbing his kids in the eyes in his first, and throwing his ex-wife down, and like, I think, like, making Twist's girlfriend a vegetable and then fucking her afterwards. And, you know, I don't want to use the word pioneering, but I guess it kind of was.
In a way, yeah, he's got like a sexual fister, elbow to finger, so I guess you're the sexual fiddler, which I thought was quite nice. You know, like you say, it was stabbing his kids in the eyes. Oh, sorry, that's Twister in it.
Twister does a sexual fister, Edward Enigma. And riddle me this, Batty Man, and he has this odd bar where he's like, he does the classic riddle, because he's always playing on like the Riddler, Edward Enigma thing, of the guy dead found in a pool or whatever, and obviously the answer to that is on a noose on a block of ice or something. But in Twister's world, it's like, because I was such a hardy battle rapper and I spat in your face afterwards, and there's just a lot of imagination being thrown about in the Fiddlers.
Oh yeah, man, Tom Twister's always brought that for me. He's got that sort of laid back style, very comedic, but it's really hard hitting at the same time.
Yeah, we get I love the moment in the third towards the end of the battle as well, when Twister says, like, it looks like your mom got raped in the arse like a baby giraffe, which is funny in of itself, but then Enigma flipping that he heard it on the MySpace page. And, you know, I mean, must have been over the moon, really, that this opening battle was such a sensation.
He's ecstatic in the intro.
This is back when would smile and look happy. It was crazy.
He's got no beard, and he's like saying, I ain't taking the new hats off even to shower.
Yeah.
You know, which I suppose that saves on washing them, you know.
Yeah.
As well, but what else forgot for... Oh, yeah, like, stab the kids in the eyes, kick my ex-wife. Mm-hmm. His flow's just sick, you know.
Yeah.
And he's got nice multis. He looks like a mix between John Terry and an illegitimate little-titted syphilitic dyke.
Yeah.
I mean, he brings that out really well. And he'd put his bitch into a coma and have sex with a vegetable. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure, you know, what that is. I've even gone in round by round here on my notes. I'm not sure if I've out-noted you here.
It will be a first. I have got some round by notes thing, but I mean, we've got so many battles to get into, and I guess it's just for me. I think I've spoke about this battle like 6 or 7 times on the show. Like, we did Enigma's episode, Tongue Twist episode, then the Tongue Twist episode I deleted it, so we had to do another one. Then I think we did like a top 10 tryout episode with Joe where we went through this one as well. But yeah, there's so much good stuff. I mean, Sam Pepper getting brought up in the second by Tongue Twister, him shagging his gran on the Stanner stairlift, and then the granddad like wanting to fuck and him like beating the shit out of him with his colostomy bag.
That gets a massive reaction. Yeah. Enigma comes back with stuff like his long ass pointy nose would have really bugged Hitler.
Yeah.
Really quite softened up way of getting on there.
No, and one thing I noticed as well, interesting, like, it's pretty youthful in there. Like, I would say the majority, like 16, 17, obviously on that lunar grist wave. This was the first event to really capitalise on that. But you don't really see that. I mean, you know, I'm going to Next in Line 3 in like 2 weeks or so. And it's going to be like, probably, you know, the age they were now, it's going to be like grizzled millennials. But back then, everyone's so youthful. The energy's great.
Oh, yeah, it's a fantastic crowd. I kept on getting distracted by the two fitties sandwiching her, the dark-haired bird stood to his right, and the bird near Pedro. I'm like, oh, that's the battle. That's the actual battle. I love that Enigma starts out his third quite prophetically with, I think I'm top tier, which you get a couple of those in this event.
Yes.
You know, and yeah, like you say, he recognises that Tongue Twist just spat the baby giraffe line. And that flip, you're so whack, you bite your own lyrics. I mean, that's, you know, that's great shit.
Yeah.
Barebacked by your dad wearing a strap-on vag.
Yeah.
Or what? You know, it's kind of works. You're so racist, you get pissed off even when your fucking taxi's black, which gets a massive laugh. Great line, easy. Yeah. It's more moving away, like you'd say. It's more horrorcore, but it's moving away from just straight mum jokes. That's like, you know, Big J and Seanie-Boi. That's mostly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that is. Yeah, we'll get to that. That's that's a bit of an artifact, that is. But yeah, I mean, both of these guys will become the scaffolding as Don't Flop moved through into its next stage. I mean, Enigma was at 4th birthday, opened 4th birthday, battling Pedro, and Tongue Twister would travel, overseas with these guys. I think he was at like the Croatia tour and stuff like that. And Tongue Twister even now is battling so regularly. I think he's battling DNA soon on the Don't Flop card, and he battled Lazy, he battled Most Prob, and he battled Matter, a dub scandal as well. So both of them, are kind of endearing experts. And we move to the next battle. And, one half of this battle is the second battle of the day. Again, a huge figure of notoriety, a celebrated one. I think people would welcome this guy back. He's kind of an elusive Battle Rap Resume guest, actually. I thought I added him on Facebook, and when I messaged the guy, it turns out he was just a Don't Flop fan who had lots of mutual friends in the same name. So that was unfortunate. I'm talking about Eek. And he battled Shakespliff.
And I better not even that skanky slag pamphlet would shag this faggot. See, I ain't got to chat crap because it's a fact I got the fat raps to blast this off as my debut. They should have given me a Shy Horror or a Jack Flash the Lambast Twat Savage Mash and Squash. Instead, they have me battling a spastic Asher Roth.
Alright, listen, Eek. I have my fingers in your sister's jeans since Christmas Eve.
He kind of coming in the same as, like with Tongue Twister and Enigma, whereas he's only evolved through his own style specifically, but his performance is extremely polished. Shakespliff, I thought his projection and his performance isn't all that, but his potential's there, like some of his materials, it's really quite good.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think Shakespliff is testament to the beauty of the multi-chain, where you don't quite know where your mind's going. You're only being led by these matching syllables, and you can hit on something quite glorious, such as his first. Listen, Eek, I've had my fingers in your sister's jeans since Christmas Eve, and no hope for this Cossack, needs soap and a hot tap.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're sniffing beak like Mr. Sheen.
Yeah. And he talks about rather be Shakespliff than rape kids on a makeshift crib on a spaceship.
Well, however that would be arranged, I don't know.
No, but I mean, you can sort of tell Shakespliff is kind of freestyling. There's lots of ums and ahs, and in his third, he does, he apologises to as well as he's struggling to get it out, and like, oh, it's no problem, man. Which is kind of rare to see as well. Again, that happiness is in him. But yeah, this unfortunately was Shakespliff's only Don't Flop showing. He battled on Barmageddon in 2012 and did 2 Red JSD ones as well. That I mean, see the Barmageddon or the 2 Red JSD. But a shame, because as Eek developed, and I think Eek is very much in the mold, as you say, going forward here, I think Shakespliff could have became something quite potent if he tried.
Yeah, man, certainly within that niche of, like that sort of post-grist era.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you say, just multi-streams, and he's really quite good. More of the poet side than the rapper.
He did, he was on that, but he wasn't outwardly in that half of the Venn diagram of like a Simon Mole, Harry Baker kind of, slam poet kind of idea. He was kind of a bit of an intermediary between. But, I mean, Eek technically puts on a clinic here.
Oh yeah, like the crack addict, Black Sabbath, Tab of Acid, and shitloads of other multis as well.
So many multis. So many.
Multi-Phest, spastic Asher Roth.
Hacking off acne spots like Azeroth in Soul Calibur, which is like, what a reference.
Oh, it's nice. And then he goes on to shitty bibble babble, titties in a nipple grapple, and my tickle tackle loves to dibble dabble with that bitch's little apples. I think he's referring to his sister. But when he ever referred to it as my tickle tackle.
Yeah.
What are a woman's little apples? I'm not sure.
I didn't get what that meant either, really, no. And, I mean, his entire second, very inventive, I will give him that, completely rectal focused.
Right, he starts singing.
He talks about dung tunnel and mud jungle, and it's all very anally fixated.
Looks into the camera and he states he smuggles drugs into clubs by shoving them up his bung funnel, which I mean, and apparently he's had it up there so long his bum can bust out cum bubbles.
Yeah.
Again, nice sort of univocalist stream, but there's some fudge struggle thing going on there.
It was 2012. We all made mistakes, It was.
Oh, absolutely. It's still very entertaining. It's good to watch. And it's interesting watching all these back with the context and having to appreciate that this was the time and this stuff was new at the time. And you look back now and it's slightly worn. And he goes in, I think his last multi-stream is like Chewbacca and True Rasta and Mufasa, which was the soul busted out against Raptor.
Yeah.
Of course, that multi-stream, nice there. Soho Booty Slapper, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, and he's introduced as being from Moscow, which is pretty cool by and we get a few references from him, from Shakespliff as well. I mean, Shakespliff saying in the second, not the first time he smoked some White Russian, which is nice. Gets a big reaction, that one as well. Talks about Eek boasting about knowing all 151 Pokemon in order. And, I mean, Eek sort of self-accompanies himself in the third, kind of like Blizzard in Lego, building that beat. And, you know, the guy has real chops that can't be denied.
Oh, absolutely. You know, like I say, he's come in and he's just kept it consistent the entire time. He's deriding the fact that Shakespeare thinks he's gangster just because he can bung together a bunch of multi-syllables, which is kind of what Eek does, really. But, you know, the performance is there. He does a crazy Uno Lavos impression, starts stamping his feet to a beat, you know, like you say. And the pseudo-Russian accent, like, you are doomed to be a defeated bastard, works very nicely. And he states that he's there to make it seem like Lunacy's out of practice. And... Yeah,
he says that at the end. And says bold statement. And obviously Luna hangs over everything here. Big J, which is the next battle we'll get to, versus Seanie-B, references Luna as well and sort of quotes from him and talks about O'Shea and the forefathers that come before. But yeah, everyone obviously, how many bars have there been about you're in Luna's shadow eclipse and all that sort of idea. But it is that idea. And I remember Yunnan, is it against Shy? It's against someone where he's like, I think Lunacy is arrogant or something like that. It might be against Pedro, but it was a bit like, oh my god, you're hitting out with this idol, you know, the iconoclast here. But yeah, fun battle, really enjoyable battle. Cool to see the judges as well. We get a lot of Cashmore in the judging.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Cashmore's the mainstay. We've got DJ Mr. Cosmo in there.
Cosmo, yeah. Phest judges a little bit. Pedro judges a lot with Mickey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mickey's up in there. Having to be reminded of people's names constantly, you know.
And before we get on to the next battle, you know, as happens with these things, there are casualties that don't get uploaded for whatever reason. So, Master Crisp versus Adam Z. I think it's been taken down. Let us know in the comments. We're live streaming as well, but let us know down below if you have seen this battle, if you remember this battle. Maybe I saw it, but it does have its own like verse tracker page, and there are links to it, which suggests that it was actually uploaded. Argento Loco versus Rogue, however, which I think I pulled out my arse as like an obscure mastermind question just to fuck with people. I don't think anyone got that. Who was Rogue's tryout? You know, no one's going to know that. But yeah, I don't know if that went down. I mean, obviously, you can imagine Aukes and Rogue came together, sort of boys or whatever. So, yeah, again, let us know in the comments down below if you are aware of either of those two battles. So the next battle I want to talk about is Big J versus Seanie-Boi.
So your mum's teeth are busted. I'll never let her give me head. I'll just get the bitch to hold up my fat belly and your girl can suck me off instead.
Every time I see that slag, she's always got a mouthful. And your house is so fucked up and dirty, even the rats complain to the council.
Got to give a lot of respect to Seanie-Boi straight up. Berms MC, reckon those B7 area, and I you know, again, Seanie-B is of the time. You know what I mean? It's kind of like transplanting like you know, a Delta Blues guitar player into a sort of Steve Vai, Paul Gilbert arena. You know, it's not really going to work. It's not going to translate very well. So if we consider him through these 2018 goggles, then it's a little cringy. But I think if you consider it just through the paradigm of it being 2012, of it being the backwash of the Luna and the mom jokes and the O'Shea and stuff like that, he's, you know, he's pretty successful at what he aims to do. I think a lot of his jokes are quite funny.
He's good. He's a good opponent for Big J. You
yes,
know, not what he was going to be like. Seanie-Boi's first round is solid. You know, it's entertaining, funny, and engaging. There's like you say, that, you know, there's a duck sick line, which is like an old joke, but it's a well-injected spoonerism, and everyone seems to like it. You know, so fat you can masturbate with your own tits.
Yes, but I love that he's really self-effacing, and he's like, I don't blame you, I do the same thing. I'd wake up in the morning, do it, and get back to snoring.
Like he's already got it worked out before it's
That'd be my routine. If I had this ability, that'd be my schedule. And, you know, I always like to ask guests on the show. I haven't had Big J on yet. That's definitely someone I need to get on the show. I'm always like, do you remember your first bar that you spat on camera? And Big J's classic opening gambit, your mum's fanny flaps look like Jay-Z's lips.
That's the precedent. It really does, doesn't it? You know, it's all that. She sticks everything in a pussy.
Yeah.
She apparently uses it as a shopping basket. Which is an interesting image yet again. So I'm assuming you wouldn't have to pay the pound trolley fee on that one. His Luna sea lion, it sort of falls a little flat.
Yeah, because he basically quotes Luna. He's like, oh, remember when Luna said about shaking a man's hand? I need to put my foot in your mom's pussy, and it's like, well, you haven't really built a bar there. Like, I don't know. I mean, Big J. So what we like about Big J, he's a workhorse, and he had such an ease in the ring. He's a little nervous here, and that's not to blame. Obviously, everyone is, but he's not quite as refined as he would become.
No, he's not. I mean, there's bits of it shining through, like he'll carry certain lines off just with his personality. And again, on the whole, it's really good stuff from him. He's got in the second, so you look like you come straight off the Jeremy Kyle show.
Yep.
Which gets solid laughs again, because at the time that wouldn't have been, repeated.
No.
You're more welcome than I am in a mosque with my shoes on. Which gets a boo. And some Gary Speed punch.
Gary Speed, leave you hanging, which is quite zeitgeisty.
That had just happened, I think, at the time.
I think it happened, a little bit. I remember that happened the same day Man City beat Man United 6-1. I just remember being at uni at the time, so I think that was like October. So yeah, it just happened in that realm. And Shawnee B's second as well isn't bad. Your mum's house is so fucked up and dirty, the rats complain to the council. Yeah,
it's a big laugh. So much testosterone inside his mum. Her titties actually produce sperm, which, again, fantastic image.
Yeah.
Sperm bank.
It's a relentless barrage of horrific things that he's saying. And I need to get my Minnesota Luke on and just make a compilation of the best your mom's pussy smells like bars, because there's so many in Dope Flop, especially at this time. He has like your girl's pussy smells like mackerel covered in cottage cheese and stored in a box of fishing tackle.
Just stacking it onto one on top of another, like what
a medley. Yeah.
I mean, he'll chill with his kids and play Pokemon. He'll chill with his parents and poke his mom.
Yeah, it's like when he said that, laughs, and I'm like, come on, everyone was saying this in primary school, like.
They're all on that 2012 steez, loving it. The first sort of few battles of the year. It's solid stuff, man.
It is, and Shawnee in his third as well takes a slightly different angle. Again, we're getting in these 2012 bars like the Gary Speed. He references the nan who put the cat in the bin. Who was this kind of horrific figure there, and Shawnee basically saying that that was his nan, and he needed to bring it up because he's winning so much that he needs to diss his own family for you to stand a chance, kind of thing. Osh is mentioned by Big J in the third. The shit on the shark, that sort of stuff. In the judging, which is quite interesting, a battle that's never happened that Mickey wants to see, and this is the first time he saw Big J, and he wants to see Big J versus Zayn Azrai.
Yeah, interesting. He says something about Big J stolen his bars, but he Seanie-Boi. But he wants to see Big J Zayn Azrai, which is that's a great name straight away. International. He wants to see straight away. Fair play. It would work.
Yeah.
And he gave it to the fat dude, which gets
yeah.
Bagwell has to come in with the names because he doesn't know all of them.
That was funny, and I should say as well, Battle Resume 111 with Zayn Azrai, definitely one of my personal favourite episodes. So listeners, if you haven't heard that before, definitely go back and check that one out. Actually had to be taken down for a little while. There might have been a lawsuit involved, but it's back up now, so definitely check that out. So the first three battles. Next battle I want to get to, really funny battle, this one. I watched this, I enjoyed it wholeheartedly. I thought both guys showed out and put on some really enjoyable performances. Lefty versus Aukes.
See me? I could blow your mind with the simplest flows. The only thing that's on his mind is why them pimples still grow. It's pretty clear that he don't make though. He looks a piece like Draco. I'm Voldemort, so hold the fort and do what the fuck I say, bro. And listen, fuck this little Nazi coward. This morning... This morning, he only partly showered.
And your sight doesn't stretch to the finest of depths. He named himself Lefty because he ain't right in his head. Oh. And this guy thinks he's a G with his P's and his clean cut, but when a girl said he looks hot, it's because his glasses are steamed up.
Oh, nice. Let me just get to that. We've got... where are we? I'm going through this mishmash.
I mean, it's a huge, we've got so many notes here for all these battles. Normally we tend to do these things in orders, I shouldn't say, listeners, but it's kind of hard to gauge exactly. I mean, I could go by like the density of the light in the window outside, but it's difficult to judge. This is later in the day, saying that it's a bigger crowd than they anticipated. Lefty rocking the Legionnaires. Lefty, we're explained, had, I guess, technically not tried out in the On Beat tournament that they did for like Blood in the Water or something. Those battles are still all online, where O'Shea battles like the Boombox Genie, I think, goes down there, and like Sharon bodies loads of people. He bodies like Pedro and O'Shea in a freeway, which is really cool. But yeah, basically Lefty had battled Sharon there, so that was the first they'd seen of this guy, and obviously thought he was pretty decent, so got him involved. And Aukes, I mean, Aukes is kind of a little bit forgotten in retrospect. I think he's doing huge things now as a music video director and a director of cinematography in general, so that's really, really cool to see. But yeah, how did this pair up for you?
Look, this is good again. It's always enjoyable watching Lefty, and Aukes he's a bit of a dark horse. You know, some good names, Grist, etc.
Yeah,
and he's again polished performance. You know, he's well rehearsed. He's got good material, nice flow. I think he comes in with like that jacket suits you because you're super dry.
Yeah,
nice freestyle there on that. Yeah. It was, you know, says he's thin, short-sighted, and sort of timid. Your facial structure defies the laws of physics, which fair play. You know?
Yeah, Aukes has some compact, you know, explosive, interesting stuff, and he's just taking things in a slightly different direction. So, you know, whatever, Lefty's ears, people talk about Lefty's ears, look at the Shufflo Compliments battle for kind of the defining Lefty ear bars. But I really like Aukes' first because he has that imagination. He talks about the magnetic pull of them. And then he also talks about if a train passes by, Lefty has to chain himself to rails because otherwise the draft would pull him aloft with his ears as like some sort of parachute balloon mechanism. And in a car, he has to sit on the back seat and have both windows open.
Great images all round. Yeah. Really, Lefty's travelling troubles.
And Lefty just has that character, that persona. You know, he can say things that maybe on paper don't necessarily work that well, you know, but like fuck this Nazi coward. This morning he only partly showered and walks up to gay clubs and they just let him in, moister than a fountain. At parties they let him in because he brings his Drake albums.
And I got brown skin tone, he's got Down syndrome.
Let's go. Yeah.
But nice, concise, you know, straight in there, and he's showing out he's got it, you know. This brown shit phone, Chris Brown ring.
Yeah.
Very nice multi, to be fair. He's more of a relaxed performance than Aukes, but I'm not sure who to give any round to really of this battle. It's pretty close for me.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. And you know, they just go at each other, which is what you want to see. Aukes flipping the whole Legionnaires idea. You know, your Roman spear because you're a bit of a prick. And when his girl says he looks hot, it's because his glasses are steamed off. We get lots of glasses bars here. I mean, Aukes refers to Lefty. This is a nice reference again, 2012, maybe obviously before 2012. Calls him John Tickle from Brainiac.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
It was like this sort of. It was a bit like Top Gear, but about science. So it was just kind of laddish experiment. I only watched a bit of it. It was kind of like Mythbusters, I guess, a predator, you know, a sort of ancestor of that. But yeah, John Tickle was obviously one of the cast members. And Aukes also in the descriptive ideas calls Lefty a tanned version of C major, getting a big reaction.
not really, not appearance wise. I don't really see that myself. He's got the glasses flips. I know I'm right when I say Lefty swings the other way, which would be one of many left-right flips that Lefty's got to hear during his career. Of course, Lefty's got he's about as hip-hop as a Hello Kitty wristwatch. Good reaction. Nice use of the hip-hop multi, you know. Yeah. Some good stuff. And he says to him, you're just a battle MC. I've listened to his tracks. He battles the beat, which I thought was quite a nice go in. Yeah, that Brainiac thing, that's just got me stumped there. Strapped with the tech reality check, you still wear specs from Orc. And again, written down just so you go, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
The way he performs it, he's got a really good comedic performance.
He does, yeah, he really does. He has this sort of terse dismissiveness, this kind of trite, like, I'm better than you, you're a bit of an idiot kind of idea. But obviously you can't really do that to Lefty, because Lefty's just a really cool guy, really sure of himself. And I think all in all, these sort of parallels make for a really interesting clash. And when he says the tan version of C major, clearly the camera doesn't cut, because this is like, 2012. So I think Kruger's just there watching or whatever. They don't have the double cameras for whatever reason. But clearly C major's like dapping up Aukes for that or whatever. And I left his third as well. Great. You beat me, lost it, like taking a hot drink in a mosh pit.
Yeah, that's fucking fantastic.
Love that.
That's so easy. It's so easy, but it's just really creative. You wouldn't have thought of that shit. Or you look like Luka Modric if he got sick.
Yeah.
And big laughs, and the guy next to Lefty's making massive movements with with his flat cap. Oh yeah, man.
I mean, we'll get to C major. That is the ultimate hanger-on behind C. I think most people know that Sideshow Bob-looking motherfucker, but we'll get to that towards the end. But I will say finally, Aukes versus Lefty, one of the highlights of the day, I'd say.
Yeah, probably is. Like all in all, between both opponents, I'm not sure whether my time bias of watching Lefty battles would call it Lefty 2-1, but everyone edges it to Aukes, which I can go with that as well. It's a really, really close clash, to be fair. Yeah,
good battle. Two strong people coming through. Obviously, both of them would be part of some big 2-on-2 teams. Probably more notably Lefty and Jay, but Aukes and Rogue did a lot as well. Aukes would battle Grist, I guess a year or so later. I think it was the first event of 2013. What was it called? It wasn't called Raise the Bar. It was called something like that. Anyway, so that was where the Enigma tongue twister thing I mentioned before went down, and he battled Grist there. And like Grist is like, you put the first syllable in the word country gent and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, really, really good battle from both of them there. Yeah, next one I want to look at is with a good friend of the show. And someone who I think battled a little bit afterwards, but didn't necessarily make much of a name for himself. This is Toucan versus Ro.P.Row.
I'd like to start by saying that I have a massive knob. So if I whipped it out, it would be like a full-length mirror for this walking cock.
Switch sides, you sure did, because you sure ditched the switch side for the glitz of Shoreditch and bitch pride. So listen, bitch pride. On Christmas Day, we all thought that anticipating the Uno Luna battle was celebrating in its best way. I was honing my pen game, and you were opening a segue.
Oh, let's go on this one. This is fucking brilliant stuff. It's something a bit different.
Yeah.
Everyone goes in like Ro.P.Row, or the obvious sort of things. Oh, he's got speech impediments or whatever. There's a fucking crazy YouTube comment from someone where it's like the top comment, but it just says, one's a power spack and one can't rap. Shit battle. Like, okay, I mean, that's
right.
That's the depth of what you're going. They're both from Ipswich as well, so it's like a local sort of face off. And this one, Mickey's hosting instead of her.
That's right.
He references the fact himself, and the crowd are reacting lots, and he forgets Toucan's name and has to ask him.
He does, yeah. And it's nice that, Mickey references Luna here, and he's like, we could have two Lunas, we could have two sketches. So a sketch obviously censors mate, who gets referenced in loads of battles. But yeah, it's great that Mickey forgets his name, and then Ro.P.Row, the first thing he says, how are you going to win, as the host forgot your name?
Yeah, he flips the intro.
Yeah.
Which, you got to be gutted on losing that coin toss, but that was very impressive straight from the off, His delivery is very disjointed, to be fair, due to his speech impediments, possibly, but the fact he's doing it, regardless, it's just a plus fuck you to everyone who's smirking, because there's quite a few people sort of just stood around smirking, covering their mouths or whatever, and it's like, well, he's up there fucking doing it, man. Yeah. So it goes in, he was smoking a peace pipe, thinking what he like, Eureka, and piss something, he says, and then urethra instead of urethra. I don't think fight, but I think he has R's trouble like diarrhea, to be honest.
Yeah. He's got some sort of roasticism or something. But I actually think he has some nice technique here. Kind of spoken word, kind of proto-Canel type sort of ideas to a certain extent. Swagger of a newsreader, too in-betweener to get on Blue Peter.
Nice.
We get a lot of New World Order, even with the World Intelligence Network behind him, he wouldn't win, and all this sort of Bilderberg shit, but still, kind of interesting. The truth is out there, but, boy band, no direction. And Toucan spends a lot of time talking about his knob in the first.
He does, he starts out with that, doesn't he? I'd like to start by saying that I have a massive knob. Which, I mean, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Everything's relative, I suppose, but he gets catfish and cat piss mixed up, although both sort of work. That he smells. He got lips a bit like a catfish? I've got hooks to catch this faggish rad-clad lad by his fat lips, which is nice. It's hard to see him just reading it off a fucking screen, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it's good. And, I mean, his massive knob opener... Pause. Where he says, like, I've got a massive knob. The sort of punch is odd. It's inventive, but I don't know if it's that successful. Where he's like, I've got a massive knob. If I whipped it out, it'd be full-length mirror of you. So it's like, you're a knob, I've got a knob. They're both looking at each other. Lots of, you're gay sort of stuff that Toucan would go for. Calls him autistic, and people are like, oh, people do react quite scathingly.
Oh, the drunk or autistic, yeah. He says he sticks his finger up his arse, and when I'm inside ripping bongs, he's outside licking schlongs, which then leads to, like, the rush holes, bum holes, smoke in my lungs, bloke on his tongue. It works, it's good, you sort of go, okay, it's that easy sexual angle, but maybe he was sort of... I think I remember on his episode, he was sort of coming with that. He knew... sort of like softening his sexuality up to the masses, as it were, by being over-sexual.
Yeah, he is. He's very over-sexual. I mean, and he says, like, fuck me in the second. He's like, I didn't mean it that way, and he does clarify a lot of stuff here. And, Toucan has some funny stuff in his second as well, about him, like, Ro.P.Row, being one of those rappers, one of the only rappers that sounds worse when you're stoned. And Ro.P has some good stuff, more hammer blows and Avram Grant and Upton Park, and it's not too invigorating, but I was never bored listening to him.
No, like for whatever reason, it is quite a compelling watch. Even like Mickey seems especially awkward, and there's loads of people smirking, like shaking heads. I think there's some Ipswich Street references with like there's Shoreditch and Shoreditch.
There is, yeah.
Get some tongue-in-cheek from Mickey. He says that Toucan sounds less like Mike Skinner's Pirate Material and more like Ben Fogle commentating on Castaway.
Right.
I don't get that. I assume is that on the programme?
Yeah, I've never actually seen... I know who Ben Fogle is, but yeah, I don't really know what he's talking about. I mean, Ben Fogle's a very sort of acceptable vanilla presenter, pretty uninteresting dude. But yeah, I mean, the speech impediment gets mentioned in the third as well. But I like that Ro flips it, and he's like, the things that I think about are dope and insane. You haven't got scope in your brain. The crowd eat that up.
Oh yeah, man, they're reacting to all the stuff. He's got I'm like best gammon with a side of al dente broccoli. Not sure why he's like that. And you're like this mockney is reconstituted John West Ham.
Right, yeah.
He says like it's only of value as a wartime novelty and during times of poverty, which he sort of picks it up nicely there, but it's slightly discombobulated.
Yeah, that's what it suffers from, really. And I mean, Ro.P.Row, I should say, the freestyle battle that I mentioned before, the freestyle tournament that was very much a precursor to this with Lefty battling. Ro.P.Row battled O'Shea and Pamphlet separately on beat, and I maybe watched one of them. I definitely want to go back and watch those. That's quite interesting. But yeah, Toucan, he goes harsher in the third. Your mom should have finished the job. Never half abort.
I'm just writing down Ro.P.Row versus O'Shea.
Yeah, there we go.
That shit, that's dinner time for him.
Yeah, on beat as well, on beat.
Boy,
and the judging, MA gives it to Toucan, but Pedro and Phest, they both give it to Ro.P.Row.
Where are we judging here? Edges it. Phest says Toucan went in more. Phest said Toucan went in more. MA Toucan, he wanted some gun bars.
Oh no, you're right. Sorry, you are right. Yeah, I've misread. Yeah, Toucan did win. I was living out some dream fulfillment there, thinking that maybe Ro.P. run, but no, Toucan did win. And I've done so many fucking battlerapresume episodes, I cannot remember what I said on any of them. But obviously we did the Toucan episode, which was quite a little while ago, and we spoke about this battle at length. We spoke about quite a few of these battles on this card at length on the show. So definitely check that out. But I mean, Joker, Ro.P.'s gonna have to remain one of those guys. Really, he had the one. He battled O'Shane Pavley, but he had the one a cappella battle, and then I guess was never invited back, never came back. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, maybe he just didn't fit into what they had at the time, or you could always just sort of go, "Oh, this isn't really for me," or maybe he didn't. I mean, I probably wouldn't enjoy it that much if you stood in a room full of people, surreptitiously ridiculing you, which he'd know going into it. But I mean, I enjoyed it on the whole. It was one of my favourites to watch, just because I like an underdog and I like something a bit different as well, and you know that when you watch a C major battle, you're going to get some straight fire, so it's interesting to just pick bits out of this guy that, you've not heard before. He's got some good stuff.
Yeah, people definitely go back, and again, if you haven't seen any of these battles, maybe haven't seen it for a long time, go back and rewatch. Next one I want to talk about, the tryout of one of my all-time favourite battlers. This guy has been glued to my top 5. I worship Ogmios. I think he's a star. I think he's just so unique and so inventive and intelligent and captivating. And his tryout versus Heavy Duty.
We can take it to the streets, global or national, take everything that's valuable and still tell ya, keep the change, you filthy animal.
Heavy Duty is a big name. He's all over the place. You can find his tape up in the aisles of home base.
Is this your first time watching this?
I've seen this during my 2016 flurry where I was watching like 40 battles a night,
Yeah.
You can't remember any of them. It's like, oh, who's this guy Ogmios? And then you go through every single battle. I don't have much for Heavy Duty on the first at all. He's just multi-stream, some made-up words.
I mean, he literally spits nonsense. Like, it doesn't, it's kind of, it just can't really comprehend what he's going at. It's just bit and aimless and
You look like a shaved Chewbacca, which I don't think he does, actually. I don't think he looks anything like Chewbacca with or without hair, Og. He's got his ending to the round. He has like the keep you change, you filthy animal, like the Home Alone.
Yeah. Out of nowhere, though, there've been no Home Alone antecedents to that. Yeah, just
he just sort of pops it in there, thinks, "Oh, this will go down a storm," and he doesn't really.
No. Coming from Essex is Heavy Duty, and Ogmios is very cool that he's showing off the last picnic in his introduction, which myself and Michael did an episode on. Definitely go back and check that out. The Battle Tapes episode went through the album. Very, very good release. And I mean, Ogmios, again, he's a dyed-in-the-wool genius, and much like your lefties or your tongue twisters, he was who he is from his first performance. Really funny, vintage Og opener. Heavy Duty is a big name. He's all over the place. You can find his tape up in the aisles of home base.
Excellent, just deriding, creative, and sort of polished edge to it.
Yeah.
It's probably his quickest performance ever as well. His
That's true.
Most rapid delivery. So his tunes need WD-40. Sounds like a squeaking door.
Yeah.
The
chipmunks are invoked.
Yeah. I like the you slide along an adder like a bead on an abacus. I mean, talk that early learning centre shit. Get on that. And it's an obvious 1-0 Og.
My god, Matt, yeah, it's a one-round body, really. I love how you just like, you shout words like Illuminati and economics on tracks.
There's a lot of people do as well. Bohemian Grove or, whatever it is.
Yeah, and it's like the words heavy and duty. If you give that to an artisan like Ogmios, he's going to come up with the genius flip. So we had the tape in home base. I like the tax-free shopping. Duty's not on it.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. The fucking bars.
Yeah. I mean, he conjures. Og's like Ivan Drago and Kasparov mixed together, and again a little nonsensical like Heavy Duty is, but he gets away with it because he's flowing, like he's just really effortless in here. And Heavy again, I don't really just putting words together with no context. Lifeless rodent trying to hide from the public is said. Paedophile comedians need to learn obedience also.
Which I mean
they do, I guess, but.
Just paedophiles need to learn obedience, perhaps. I don't know. It's strange. Is it your dad is a Rabsy Nesbitt clone, which is a nice sort of 90s TV reference. He's going to amplify visions of Baphomet, apparently.
Again, that's like economics and Illuminati. It's just these flashcards, these catchwords. And thank God it doesn't last very long, and we get back to Ogmios. Calls him a defrosted Neolithic hominid dropped off in Romford.
Gets a delayed reaction slightly. And he has some bit about like he's copying the kid at school next to you, knowing that kid is a div too. Goes down really well.
That is crazy. That is just a powder keg. I mean, now that's crazy, but back then that is so strong. And a leper need other people to tell you what's hot.
Yeah,
Let's
nice. Didn't get that one down, but that is.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can just tell he's just oozing that class above the rest, and it's kind of hard to see without the knowledge of what we know now of people going on to do what they do, but you really can tell from this that he's really got something. Has a slight slip up at the end of the set, but then calls time instead of choking, so fair fucking play.
And Heavy Duty again, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. In the third, his mind dispersed into a crazy verse and blood when he farts, and honestly it's just it's not really anything to write home about. Og in his third, lots of like potato scheming, vegetable ideas.
But that's only after Heavy Duty will have smashed in his fucking gay skull with a straight pole.
Wow.
We all know what that is and what that means. It's a load of shit, to be honest. And Og's just going in like with a potato scheme. No love for this potato head. His brain's potato mash. He speaks of potato mesh. It sounds like mish, but he makes it like gesture. So I'm not sure what's gone on there, but pure waffle. That's all you've ever said. Lovely, less bullseye, more bird's eye. And I thought he could have probably put in less Pied Piper and more like Maris Piper. But
who are we to tell Og what to do? But chip on your shoulder as well. Great grandfather raped by a parsnip.
Go back to your own allotment.
Oh man, vintage. Really, again. I know a lot. Maybe some people haven't watched this. I think it's got like 50k, so it's gotten a fair viewing. Obviously, Ogmios has got a big fan base, but crazy stuff from here. Bombi having Og taking it with the third. Lefty has Og all three. Cashmore saying that Og was incredible and has got him to take it. And bit of a perfect tryout from the wise one.
Oh yeah, man. I've also got to include, like near the end of his third, musically kill your whole spiel. I bang Glocks, which I'm not a gun bar guy, but I thought that was really quite nice.
I missed that actually. That is fire. That's really strong. And we don't need to tell you twice, people. Ogmios is one of the greatest. Again, bit of an advert for the show this episode, but go check out the Ogmios episode. That was one of my favourite episodes. Probably has the best intro to a BattleRapresume episode ever. Og and the instruments and the gong and the various melodies that he brings out there. So that was Heavy Duty versus Ogmios. Another huge figure, someone that would become staff in Don't Flop, unfortunately leave under acrimonious circumstances, but go on to incredible things, interviewing biggest movie stars in the world. Of course, I'm talking about Bamalam. This is Bamalam versus Phest.
Seems you forgot your gender. See, Phest's a faggot. Otherwise a rotten bender. Your synonyms are really thick and you don't drop them right. If you ever picked up a brick, it was working a construction site.
I'm new to this battle shit. I ain't never done it before. To be fair, the only reason I signed up to Don't Flop was to come all the way to tell Bamalam that his mum is a whore. I shagged her, but I swear, people, she looked stunning before. I woke up in the morning,
looked at her fat face, and had to run for the door before her stomach had me up for lunch. It was raw.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is at like 65k views. I'm not sure if that's BAM's average. I'm sure you'll have some idea with Verse Tracker being seemingly streamed from your head. But that seems like quite a lot, because I'm not really sure who Phest is. BAM's even more stern-faced than usual in the intro, looking very, very focused and very ready to go. But he too, right off the bat, brings his really strong flow and delivery, a lot of conviction, a lot of practice to it, and says, I'm going to rise from a tryout to a top contender, which, you know, just like Lunacy's opening prophecy is correct, you know. Absolutely smashed it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, 4th birthday at the end of the year. It's obviously in January. I think maybe it's for fourth birthday, but certainly 4th birthday when BAM became staff and, you know, became enchanced within the whole thing. So, you know, everything moved quickly for the guy. Was part of the top 8 tournament as well. And yeah, I think BAM had been in Don't Flop a while. If I remember correctly, one of the most disliked Don't Flop battles ever is Nico the Negro versus Killer Instinct, I want to say, and it's this awful battle, and you can see BAM and Cystic there, like in the background, just watching and stuff, and I think that's like 2010 or something like that. So yeah, he's definitely been around for a good while, and he has a technique, has a delivery. Fester, how's life as a sock molester, you know, Reason Grime ain't gotten better, you know, picking up a brick was working. The only time picking up a brick was working a construction site. And, I mean, Phest says that he's new to this battle shit, and we pretty much just get the mom stuff, the generic racist Maltese. Bamalam looks like an Afghanistan cross with Taliban that got lost in Pakistan in Ramadan.
It's a bit weird, he looks like an Afghanistan.
Yeah, he does say that, yeah.
An Afghanistan, it's really strange. I've just got sick written in that twice, in parenthesized sick, and that's the only parts of his verse that are sick, to be fair, is the sort of set text. He says that the only reason he signed up to Don't Flop was to tell Bamalam that his mum is a whore, but then he continues to spit, so it wasn't the only reason. He wants to talk about 10 bottles of vodka, which he does correct to vodka, but whatever that is. But there's a lot of single syllabic rhyming, and I don't really know what he's on about. There's no real structure.
No.
This batty crease would shag a sheep for a gram of green. Probably his best line in there.
That is probably his best line, yeah.
You know, he still gets a few laughs, but, you know, it's BAM straight out of the game.
It is. And I think it's BAM's third that's the strongest. And it's not that he seals it for him. He was already going to win, you know, after Phest is first. But second, I don't really have too many notes on. I mean, Phest in the second, saying BAM's as hench as a twig. And Phest, I don't know if you notice, he's constantly rubbing his cap.
He's trying to perfect the Tony D, the Tony D hat touch, which a few are here.
Yeah, that's true.
This event, you know, he's getting going, but of course Tony D's got the ability to go with. He's not just a hat toucher. It's Tony, whereas Phest is. That's some of his best shit.
Yeah.
He's sort of got the why you always talking about your weed, bro. Picture the resemblance, Bamalam pedo, which bit strange, bit of a stumble. I'm sick with the lines, you're shit, I'll suck your mum's clit and spit. The come at you.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure if his mum comes out of her clit. It would be a bit weird. But he garners a bit of reaction. But he's got quite a convincing delivery on it. But I don't think he's too well inured to the ways of the female anatomy. But he gets a good laugh because it makes no fucking sense. So, you know.
Bam has, you know, a line in his third, which I thought was excellent and does get mentioned in the judging quite a bit, where he's like, enormous dick, got a jaws to split, all my jizz turned a throat into an orphanage.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Comes in like full force. If I was running off the top, I'd kill you like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's hard.
Full reaction, let's go from her, everyone getting in there. He's getting some good reaction, you know. I did like, why did you come to Don't Flop Pest? It was already a cock fest. Now it's got this cock fest.
Yes.
Which I thought, wow, you know, and I've just written down, it's already 3-0 BAM, let's face it.
Yeah. His third is great. Great by BAM. Yeah, really good round. And, I mean, Phest unfortunately has to do his third after Lots of your mom is a cunt sponge. Your mum's cunt is a cum sponge, and this sort of stuff. And there's so much dirty cunt stuff actually in this that's referenced, and that's pretty much the extent of it. So yeah, Mickey saying that Phest does some interesting shit, but gave it to Bam. Ma introducing himself as Rick Boss Dirtbag Stan. He marks out the Throat to Orphanage line as being really nice, and it really was. And Pedro giving it to Bam, and yeah, unsurprisingly, if you listen to our little just criticism over the last 10 minutes, Bam wins.
Ma also called himself Obama Bin Laden, which is nice. That's wonderful. I mean, I'm not sure how you can skip over Phest third like this. What about material like, all I've got to say is that Bamalam's mum is a dirty cunt.
Yeah.
Dirty cunt, that's it.
Right,
dirty cunt. And it's utterly fucking risible.
Yeah.
I think he's sort of riding that flow of, he gets a couple of laughs and then he's like, I don't know what to say, I'm just going to say dirty cunt. You know, it's weird. It's just weird. Don't like it.
No, I agree. It's kind of, yeah. I mean, battle rap, you need a bit of wit or a bit of energy or some sort of ingredient to inject some energy, to inject some sort of spirit into it. But yeah, didn't really like that from Phest. So, next battle that we'll get to. I mean, so many battles today. Crazy there. I think there are 20 battlers altogether. 10 battles going off. Young Mace versus C Major.
Right now, I'm a bright spark on flame. Mace couldn't spray to extinguish my buzz. You're just an aerosol to the lighter. You're lifting me up. And listen,
this guy trips on his lips when he spits. He's a gaunt-faced prick with a Daffy Duck lisp.
Young Mace, I have a 6 degrees of separation with Young Mace actually. Very good friend of mine, Danny O'Gorman, who not only designed the battlerapresume logo that adorns every thumbnail, the podcast, etc., the merch, the beanie wears of Rudimental as well, and very other people. Kieran Keller rocks the hat. Go on the store. I'll put the links down below. He designed the logo. He's one of my closest friends. Giant battle rap fan. We've been to loads of events together. He's been on the show as well. We've done various discussions together. He went to primary school with Young Mace.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
oh,
in Aldridge in Birmingham, and he just sort of told me this. By the way, I think he had been told that we were into Don't Flop at the time, and someone had been like, "Oh yeah, remember that kid, whatever his name is? He was in Don't Flop." And like, I don't mind Young Mace. Maybe again, I'm being a little biased here, but I don't mind the guy.
To be fair, I'm not sure who wins the first at all. I couldn't make a decision at all, and it's that thing of you look back at C Major and go, well, obviously how he's sort of kept it going. But it really is quite close. He's got a convincing delivery, convincing flow. Maybe the only thing is he laughs at a lot of his jokes. I think that's probably just nerves. But he's well performed. There's a couple of Pat Butcher bars in this event, but he'll leave the East End bitch deader than Pat Butcher and all that sort of shit. Asked for a super bad rhymer, so went and fetched McLovin, which gets a massive laugh. You look like a slim Meg Griffin, which I'm not sure on the visual comparison there. Work, and fuck you and your glasses, which a nice setup that works on its own, I think.
yeah. It's C's decent here. I mean, C is obviously a monster. Musically, battle wise, he's a crazy figure. Him versus Ogmios is one of the best Don't Flop battles ever. He has the appearance here, he has the confidence to camera. I think says that he's been doing a few freestyle vids already. He got a bit of a name for himself, and he's just coming up on that. Again, his friend in the background, this David Luiz looking guy. I mean, look, I know, just rep your set, as it were. I get that, and I'm sure I've looked stupid in the back of many battle videos, but he's just a little over the top, really. He's a little ostentatious to the point where most of the comments are talking about him rather than the battle. Definitely go watch him if you haven't seen it before. But I mean, C just has that diction, that tone, that ability. Fuck you and your metrosexual man cubs. Better use as a tempo tapper, a flamenco dancer, but Mace targets his weaknesses, and a lot of the lisp stuff that he does. I mean, I've got a slight lisp myself. A lot of the lisp stuff that Mace does in the second really works.
Does get a massive laugh just because of the way it's performed. I mean, it's easy stuff to do, but I mean that works, doesn't it? Some Charlie Sheen reference that I don't really get, but he just goes through the whole round with really quite great aplomb. To be fair, in a survey of 100 people, 97 said your mum looked butters, which I understand that's a derogatory term, butters. Didn't know that at first because butter's quite tasty to me. But apparently that's a slur, so that's quite funny. But again, pretty close, really, pretty close. He's got slightly more urgency and energy to his flow than C Major, but I mean, C Major's kind of got that unique style in a way that isn't. I suppose the lisp sort of adds to that, really. You know, in a way.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. And C going on the sort of, you know, Mace smoking a lot of weed, Wiz Khalifa rappers, even with substance in you, there's no substance in you.
Sick. And the only thing that would contest that is in the first. He says, right now I'm a bright spark on flame. Mace couldn't spray to extinguish my buzz.
Yeah.
Which I like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's
very nice.
Fire, man.
Yeah.
You know, your name's Young Mace. Get a grip on life. He gets a massive reaction. You're a waste of space and studio time.
Yeah.
It's fantastic as well. You know.
Yeah. Mace says he'll get 8 like the legs on a spider. Which
nice, yeah.
Bit of a non sequitur grammatically there, but I respect that. There's some nice moments here. It kind of doesn't end too strongly for Mace, but it's not one of those battles where it was, you know, on a knife's edge. Like, I think it was quite close regardless of that. Of course, the Skirmish shown in the crowd. Skirmish showing love. Again, a great Battle Resume episode, the Skirmish episode. Bamalam, for him it comes down to directness in the judging, and he had C edging it. Mickey give the last 2 rounds to C, and I think you're right there, Joker. Like, I agree, the first round is very close, picks up both of them. Pedro, C Major just about takes it, and really like this one.
Yeah, so that's a great battle, to be fair. It's the last one I watched. I watched it tonight, just before we went on, and yeah, it was probably all in all, technically the best and most solid, I'd say, all round, like opponent to opponent. You know.
Yeah. I think, and there's a few, like, you know, her and the crew must have been so happy after this event because, you know, so much of the potential did flourish, but as an event in of itself, a free event, it was successful, and these would be fun stuff to watch. So 2 more battles left, and the penultimate battle is back when he was known as CallumBOOM. This is versing the man Impact.
This is how you act straight, don't act gay. You look like a faggot when you stand that way. Yo, you're not a good man, you're a terrible black waste. Yo, this is how you act straight, don't act gay. Round 1, Tom.
Tired. Cause I'm the sickest brother, slit and sever, kidnap your fucking bitch, undress her and violently rape her after I stitch her vagina lips together.
I'm single.
Twisted. Cause of your mum's lipstick, my dick is redder. Listen. Experiencing that big black box was like I witnessed Mecca.
Shout out to CallumBOOM, by the way. I encountered him in a very weird location. I think I mentioned this on the show before. Myself and my girlfriend, about 3 or 4 months ago, went to Comic-Con randomly. Like, I'm more into, like, graphic novels than, like, superheroes and stuff. But whatever. I'd never been to Comic-Con before. London Comic-Con. And, you know, thought, why not? We went down there. Anyway, they had this giant Nintendo stage where they were showing off the Switch and having tournaments and all this sort of stuff. You know, it was pretty cool. And across from me, who do I see but CallumBOOM in, like, Nintendo gear, like, working on the stalls and stuff. It was pretty cool. There was this big crowd, and, like, I said to my girlfriend, oh, that's a battler, like, yeah. And I was like, oh, you remember that looking a little stressed Callum? That's that guy, like, you know. And that's what I wanted to shout, but I thought, nah, I'm not going to say anything. And then for some reason, out of my mouth was like, CallumBOOM. I just said it, and he turned around and he saw me straight away. And he's like, you all right, Tom? I was like, yeah. And we had a little word and then walked off, but. You know, next week in finding battle rappers in weird places. So yeah, if you've ever encountered any, definitely let us know in the comments. But yeah, this is CallumBOOM's debut, versing against Impact, which is quite an odd matchup.
It is, to be fair. There's really quite a massive gap in performance between the two. I like in the intro, bigs himself up for making the rap t-shirts.
Right.
And he says he can't believe that he's just bigged himself up on camera. He gets a good.
It ain't the first, it ain't the last,
Yeah, absolutely. CallumBOOM in his intro just says like West Midlands, which is just a bit weird. I'm sure he's just repping the West Midlands, and I'm going to make some.
Yeah, I guess it was sort of a satire of that idea, but it didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really come across. No. It's really kind of like fractured flow. And it does work, but it's kind of hard to follow.
It is, yeah. He trips over stuff. Fucks up a little bit, not getting too much reaction, people not too impressed, and gets near enough a boo at the end of his first when he calls Impact a terrible black waste.
The now infamous bar. Yeah. I mean, because he tries to banter with her to no avail in one bar, and then a bit of choking. He's got the double hand Tony D hat touch, and you think, well, can this get any fucking worse? Oh yes, it can. And the terrible black waist, and he calls time, and then it's CallumBOOM.
Yeah.
You know?
It is, and
be edited for the obvious reaction to that to subside. It has to be edited straight.
It does, yeah. We got the cut, the fade to black, the dreaded, and Impact in his first. I mean, I love Impact and the imagery he throws. Entire galaxies are wrenched asunder when my lungs expand, and you've awoken Cthulhu from his slumber, and all this sort of stuff. And awesome rhythm. He always got this ability. Fucking his mom, experiencing the big black box like witnessing Mecca.
Yeah, man, big reaction.
Yeah,
in for a rude awakening, like getting woken up with a cock slap. His mum's slag's so fat she has to wipe her ass with a mattress, which that's a great image. I'm assuming it'd have to be a single mattress for that. You couldn't have double, so that's pretty ambitious. But he would face fuck her with his cock in the buttered bun of a hot dog, which it's strange again, but he's so fucking powerful straight out of it. Like possible delivery, his flow is sick, and it's just obvious here, apart from the black waistline, which probably that's going to stick in anyone's head more than anything.
Yeah.
Easy impact,
Yeah, oh god, yeah. And I think that the right word, powerful. Like, he does have such power impact when he goes to, like, Callum's second again is kind of cringy, sort of fights back with it, but he's just not that likable anyway. Unfortunately, my Nintendo brethren, and he hadn't endeared himself at this point. Obviously he'd later change his name as well. Woe betide, and he sort of uses the term "don't," like my cock won't flop or something like that. He harks back to that. Impact in the second, like, "Don't flop" got me lyrically wrestling some weird sort of feminine gremlin specimen.
Well, I mean, like, Impact gets a good reaction from that and a big laugh, which is nice. I think, he's CallumBOOM. Of course, Woe Betide is one of the few battlers that I've seen live at the Fable.
Of course, at the Lost UKBL event, which we should do an episode like this on that.
We should, yeah. We're just like
with our memories, with our hackneyed memories, because like I can sort of recall, but obviously none of those battles have been online.
I remember about 4 bars from the whole fucking day. It was a sick event, and Kojay needs to put that shit out, man, because there was some battles on that. The O'Shea Bowski freestyle with Kojay and Evil, that was fucking nice. Some good shit, man. There was a D-Max tryout.
There was, fucking Codman Curve battled Herb D.
Herb D fucked up really badly.
Yeah, I kind of liked Herb D's. Like, Herb D's only on-camera appearance is on Battle Rap Resume because we interviewed him at the event. So definitely check that out. But he fucked up badly, but his first was pretty good, actually. He had this sort of brutishness to him that I kind of appreciated. I mean, Impact again has a really good second. This prick could fit his dick in an anorexic chick's wedding ring.
Massive reaction.
Yeah, Matt, of course. Ed Sheeran with Down syndrome and no talent. Ron Weasley after 8 months of cancer.
No, don't know what this emo's smoking. I'll leave him soaking in his hemoglobin. Fucking nice,
nasty.
Hemoglobin into it, talk that fucking biology shit.
Talk that platelet shit. Let's go. I mean, again, there's not much he can do. Really, Callum calling his mum like a dirty bitch and stuff, and it's just, again, you're sort of getting Phest flashbacks. Impact bigs up for the easy win. One wish from the magic lamp would be for you to suck a genie's dick.
Yeah, that's nice. CallumBOOM sort of does that weird, at first he says, like, he can't count all of the amount of sick hoes that he's shagged, and he says, I know I've got an STD, it's fact.
Wow.
And is like, are you doing a mirror match here at the start?
Yeah.
That gets bigger reaction than anything else. And he pulls out some sunglasses with Callum written on the left eye and Boom written on the right. And then I think he spits in the style of another rapper. I think it's Tiny Temper.
Yeah,
Tiny Temper. And he gets some laughs, and he mentions the low-key in every round as well. Bit weird. And Impact's got you've got a voice like Schmiegel's been breathing in helium. Nice, you know. So your nan's walking stick is a talking dick. Quite simple, but works, you know. And this doofus is conclusive proof of how useful abortion is. No one should have been born like
that. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And I mean, Callum, I just on his verse tracker now. I was convinced that he had another showing on Don't Flop before the Chris Lees Yunnan Annihilation, but he didn't. He battled on Red JSD, as most of these battlers did at the 2012 time. Quite smart of that Luke to get going. He actually battled Rogue there, and he battled like Aukes and people on King of the Rolls, and I think he battled Woe Be Tied on the Don't Flop Extra thing, Code Red thing, whatever that was. So yeah, I think he had a few there that maybe had gone down with Don't Flop Extra, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Impact bodies him. Cosmo, Pete Cashmore, and Young Mace in the judging, they all give it to Impact.
Yeah, man. Someone's left I don't think it's in this video, but someone's left a comment saying that DJ Mr. Cosmo looks like Soul after a 10-year drug binge, which he probably does, to be fair. Yeah, Young Mace says Impact and then something else. I'm not sure what he says. Pete Cashmore gives it 2.5 to a half to Impact.
Wow.
I'm not sure whether that's 2.5-0 or 3-0, but yeah, it's easy, like 4-0 Impact, to be fair, that one.
And we get to the final battle, which is a battle that I guess is the first battle we're touching on that hasn't had any names you might be aware of, and that just plays testament to what an incredible event this was. This is Barn B versus Grim Sickers.
You ain't noticed, I'm from that tape deck set. I got your mum wet. Fuck love, I was riding over that tart like a Harley Davidson. Call it payback from way back. That bitch already took the virginity I had. It was horrible, you know?
You watch these standards and padded bras and dirty white fronts. You claim to be a real guy, but you're just a token black man in a group of white friends. Listen, I'm trying to find videos on YouTube. I'm trying to find one on a polyphonic ringtone. And one shit lyric I can't remember. Let's call this like Wycliffe Jean. Classes Clash are going to be gone to November. You're probably like, I'm stacking on the block. Well, that's just your term for playing Jenga.
I should say Grim Sickers is a little ignorant of the music scene. You know, he has stuff uploaded on like Link Up, and I think he was on Radio 1 recently and stuff like that. I don't think they got that many views, but you know, he's still out there rapping, doing his thing. But what did you think of this battle?
This is my personal favourite out of all of them. When I was watching this one at work, making notes on it, and a guy was walking through my department. And he just like would stop and look at the screen and just be like, "What the fuck are they going on about?" I was like, "Hey, I don't know. I've got no fucking idea." This was the most entertaining because you know you're not expecting anything, and when you realise it's just shit, like relatively, you just go, "Okay, I'll just enjoy this." I've got more notes for this. Like Grim Sickers is first. I've got so many fucking.
I mean, his first opens undeniably quite heavy.
Gets a big laugh. Beverly Knight as a transvestite.
Yeah.
Which, you know, works. And Lenny Henry looks like after 6 years of ketamine.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting some raucous laughs. You cry for 3 days because Pat Butcher died. It's not that good, but in the room, like, Er's fucking loving it. He's like Cotton Eye Joe on repeat. You talk that redneck shit. We love that.
Talk that school disco shit.
Yeah. Fucking 90s motherfucker. Yeah. And the lion's share of the references, I don't really get it, but it is pretty well performed. You know, it's pretty well performed on the whole.
Yeah, it's definitely a wonderful bit of miscellany that people should check out. And you know, Barn talking about calling him out in his video, the dyslexic kid, fucking his father, gets her involved as well, and goes deep into. I mean, he goes places we've rarely seen in battle rap. But I mean, yeah, it's a pretty. I don't really know what to say about this battle. I'm kind of running out of words, adjectives to apply to any of these battles. It kind of goes beyond description.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing with her, it kind of works as well, because he says, like, isn't incest horrible? But then, like, his dad leans over to me, like, isn't that question rhetorical? Which gets a huge reaction, because it's not too bad, but it's got other barnstorming fire, like on the mic, you're a poor excuse for a man, a dyke. Which, you know, he's all about equality. That's why I fucked your mum until she couldn't walk properly. So, assumedly, he'd fuck everyone in the room there until they couldn't walk properly. If he's all about equality, you know, his voice sounds like a dyslexic kid having sex with a pig. But I'm not sure how the dyslexia would manifest itself during the sex with the pig.
With the porcine, yeah.
Yeah, you know, he talks about his girl and says he drove a gaga, turned her pussy to molten lava, then fucked your sister straight after your father. Which, you know, his cadence and delivery is all right, but a lot of it falls deservedly flat because it doesn't mean much. It's kind of like Soul Jitsu Light or a comatose Soweto Kinch. You know, probably not even that good, to be honest.
No, God, no.
Kinch in a coma.
Jesus. Yeah, Soweto Kinch in a coma could body most people, I think. Just his heart rate, just beeping out Morse code bars.
I'm sorry, Soweto. I love Conversations with the Unseen. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Soweto's the god. Like Soweto with his own fucking. He's got a documentary coming out on BBC 4 where he's like speaking to jazz musicians and stuff. I mean, yeah, we worship Soweto on this show. Shout out the Flyover show that he does in Birmingham every year as well. But yeah, I mean, Soweto had debuted before this actually against Stowaway. He was a bit more of an older figure in the scene. But yeah, I mean, that's Barnby versus Grim Sickers. Any final thoughts on this battle?
Oh God, I got loads of skipping over here. I mean, where are we? I mean, I'll rush through it a little bit. Grim Sickers in the second round. You fuck first and suck second. What? Yep. I don't know what that is. Barnby coming back at that with dead wrong like your nan in a red thong. Okay. Yeah. I'm a lyrical king. Shine so bright, I'm a lyrical bling. Which syntactically or just sensically means absolutely nothing. Yeah. However, Barnby in the third shuts it all down with the line, I'll piss on you and then I'll shit on you. And then I'll blow you up just like your natives do. And he gets a reaction. And at least he's thought about it, because if he was to shit on him first and then piss on him, it would wash some of the shit off, therefore not maximising the effect of the act. So it's good that he's paying attention to that. Gets a big reaction with finally a concise line where he says, I'm not a racial dude, I've got more Asian friends with you that loves. And probably his best line of the battle is he spits shit because he's got away with turds. And then just starts using fucking props as well. He says he thinks he's a calculated MC, but you couldn't be calculated if I gave you a calculator. And then he pulls out a fucking calculator and he sticks it onto Grim's chest. And for some reason, someone reacts really loudly to this. But not, I like NERD, but you're a nerd to me, because that's just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. CallumBOOM's back up in the judging. At least he's got the say on something, and Barnby's in with a 3-0. Pete Cashmore says it's a great standard. I'm not sure... Not sure what he's on about there. He's probably had a few too many red wines there.
Certainly, yeah. They were... But yeah, that I think that was the right battle to close this day on. And overall, it was an unbelievable day for UK Battle Rap, and so many of these guys went on to do great things. So just to recap, Mr. Tongue Twister versus Enigma, then had Eek versus Shakespliff, Big J versus Seanie-Boi, Lefty versus Aukes, Toucan versus Ro.P.Row, Heavy Duty versus Ogmios, Phest versus Bamalam, we had Young Mace versus C Major, Impact versus CallumBOOM, and then Grim Sickers versus Barnby. So I guess finally, Joe, what's your favourite battle of the day?
Oh, yeah, I mean, in one way it would be Grim Sickers versus Barnby because I had the most raucous belly laughs while watching that, and the incredulity at what's going on. I mean, probably Enigma Tongue Twister overall in terms of quality and of like the entire battle. You know, if it was to be one performance, maybe Og, because I love Og, but as a battle, probably Tongue Twister, Enigma. What would you say?
Yeah, that's definitely up there. I would like to pick Heavy Duty versus Og, but I think Heavy Duty is so fucking bad. It doesn't matter how transcendent the Og is. I'll probably go for Lefty Aukes. Just tickled me when I watched it, and I rewatched it just this afternoon actually, writing the notes, and still think it's very, very good. And I think a lot of these battles are really fucking good, and people should go back and check them out. Let us know in the comments down below what you want me to do next on a classic event rewind. Probably the next one that I want to do is URL. Maybe Summer Madness 2 or something like that. France and Pro V of the Let's Talk Battle Rap podcast, incredible podcast based in New York. They mostly cover US stuff. We're going to do something in the future looking at UFF on the URL. I'll probably tie that into Classic Event Rewind as well, especially the sort of chess prep saga season with T-Top. That was a great roster of battle rap. As always, follow us at battlerapresume on Twitter, battlerapresume@gmail.com. Patreon is there if you want to support the show, you want to give back to the show. This will be on the Patreon first. If you want to download it to your phone, you can also have that option to go up the tiers. Subscribe, get at us on iTunes, let us know down below your memories of this event. Have you seen those battles, those Adamsy rogue battles, the missing pieces, the memento of this shit? And I guess, Joker, finally, what about yourself? Anything you'd like to promo? I know you share a lot of art on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I got the Instagram shit on the go. That's Joker_1984 or hashtag Studio Moral. Get all that arty shit up. I could probably save you a lot of the time with the URL recap. I'll do that now for you. Right. URL Summer Madness. Lots of gun bars.
There we go. There we go.
So yeah, shortest episode ever. As you can tell, won't be on for that one.
This has been great, man. And again, I want to say, if people have enjoyed this chat, go back, listen to myself and Joker battled on a fan cast quite a while ago, and we will eventually do that UKBL Bloodline recap. And if Metallica float your boat, myself and Joker have done several episodes on my Alpha Metallica podcast. So if you're down with that, definitely check out the songs and concerts we've discussed. But as always, man, it's been a treat. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, man. It's been great.